Welcome to the first ever Stranger Things podcast that is going down. It is happening, guys. It's our first time ever doing a live podcast, and I think we might do this, permanently in the future because this is an epic idea. So first off, thank you for everybody for being here in the chat. What's up, my dudes? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is going to be a podcast where we talk about Stranger Things Season 4. So full-blown alert right now. If you have not watched it, there's going to be spoilers. I repeat, there's going to be spoilers, okay? What's up, Kojo? What's up, Spen? What's up, Isaiah, Abdu, Ali, Nine, Bray, everybody in the chat. What's up, guys?
Tuna gang.
I'm trying to figure out where I'm at in the screen. I point this way. Live chat.
Buddy, that meme is so dead. I can't believe you guys still do it, man. It's amazing that you guys still do that.
Live chat is
It's really cute. I don't know why you're so mad about it. And, hey there, it's your old man, Putty.
Anyway, guys, here we go, boys. We're going to start it off. Welcome, everybody, to the Stranger Things podcast. We are here today with Jay Campo, a.k.a. Campo Reviews, the legend. We are also here today with Putty, usual person that always attends these. And for the first time, making his debut to the podcast, we have Mac and Cheese, or Mac on Cheese, however you guys want to say it, dude. So everybody say welcome to Mac on Cheese, as I call him, Macaroni, to becoming one of the podcasters, guys. It's his first time ever being here. Mac, you got anything to say for yourself?
Yeah,
there you go, boys. He nailed it, dude.
Speechless.
He nailed
Speechless.
It, dude.
He tried it.
I like to speak for him.
Okay, go. You can speak for him.
Hey there, Mr. Bear.
Nice. Guys, make sure you check out all their YouTube channels. I'll link to their channels in the description after the stream is over.
Especially
okay?
Max.
Yes, especially Max. Before we get into talking about Stranger Things, I do want to mention that one of the people in this this live stream today, this podcast, is the only person in the world to have hit 1,000 subscribers in one day twice.
Yeah.
So do you have anything you want to say about that, Mister World?
I'm just, once.
Okay.
There you go. He did
There
it,
you go.
guys. He did it.
The man with all the words.
Perfect. All right, guys. So here, the first thing we're going to talk about today, guys, is our opinions on the show. That's what I've been waiting to say, but I couldn't say it on stream. Again, spoilers, leave right now if you don't want to hear spoilers, quick, and then come back after you're done watching. Okay.
No, just come back right now.
So the first thing I want to say, first of all, is this season was really good. I had to go back and watch the last episode and a bit of the second last episode again just to see my final opinions on it. But overall, I would say it was a good season. I would probably put it up there. I would say it's better than season 2 in my opinion, but not as good as season 3 or season 1. I still really enjoyed it, and I would say I'm giving it about an 8. And
we're just dropping the scores.
Yeah. I want to do that right off the bat, in case anybody's interested in our opinions on what we give it.
Okay, well, I don't know what I would give it, but I would say it's my last place season probably.
Okay, so let's do this then. Everybody, let's rank them. Rank our seasons right now.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm going first. Number 1.
Okay.
Number 2.
Season 1, season 2,
season 4, season 3. Season 3 was the worst for me.
Okay. Putty, first of all, what are your thoughts on this season?
I mean,
I didn't even get to tell you my thoughts.
Well, nobody
tell
really
your
cares.
thoughts. Go ahead.
Nobody cares. No, Putty.
Those are my thoughts.
I enjoyed it. I mean, again, it's Stranger Things-esque. Like you could tell just when you write it, you start it, it feels Stranger Things. But I enjoyed it. I don't feel like it's really concluded until we get that last part in July. So for me, it feels like incomplete. I mean, there was one thing predictable, which I'll talk about later, that I pretty much guessed in the beginning, but or towards the beginning, actually. But other than that, I loved it. For me, as far as if we were doing numbers and we're saying like 1 would be 10, this would be at 7 to 8. Like if I was to do the ranking like you were saying, I would say season 1 is number 1 in my eyes still. Then it's kind of pitchy because it's either going to be season 2 or this one, and I can't decide on that. I agree on the season 3, but I feel like season 2 was good except for one part, so it kind of gave it a minus. That's why it's hard. So it'd be season 1, either 2 and 4, then 3.
Yeah, 3, I think 3 is the weakest. It's easily the weakest.
Okay, I think me and Mac agree. Mac, what are your rankings for seasons right now?
So since season 4 isn't complete yet.
Yeah, I know. It's good that Putty said that because I didn't even realize. I'm like, wait, we haven't even finished the season.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but we can put our thoughts already. It's fair.
Exactly.
Yeah. So since it's not complete, I'm gonna put season 3 at top.
Me too.
Season 4 below it, then season 1, and then season 2.
No, season 1 is so good. Like the tightness of the episodes in season 1. I watched the first episode again, and it's so tight and to the point. The first 2 episodes of this season are absolute fluffy garbage. And
Really?
I don't mean that to say that episodes are bad. That comes off
Yeah.
like I'm saying that. But there's no storyline in either episode. It's just a reintroduction to characters you already know, and none of it matters.
Yeah.
Because as the show progresses, you learn those little things about the characters, how they've changed anyways. So to waste like almost 3 hours of my time was like insane.
Yeah, but
Well,
one thing that I really liked about the first episode that they did was it starts off and they did a really good job of doing this thing where it starts off and everything's all happy, and then you see that girl in the washroom and that whole thing happens.
But I'm saying there are story elements, but it's so small. You could easily take out half an hour from each episode. You could.
I just like the
of my
roller
time.
coaster of emotions. We're all so happy we're getting to see all the characters again, and then boom, something crazy happens. You
I
see?
didn't feel that way. I felt like I was
did.
getting dragged out. Like I don't need to be reintroduced to these people. I already know them.
Well, see, I think what the situation is, and again, it's all about perspective. We had time and everything to have different space in between. So if you went back and watched the episodes, that's probably why you don't need that filler. And see, the thing is, I want to put this out there because especially
You don't
people
need it
watching,
anyways. I promise you.
Yeah, but my point, the whole thing is with people watching. The one thing I do want to make sure point out, whenever we talk about one not being good, we're not saying, or at least in my opinion, we're not saying at all that they're bad. They're just the lower tier. I think in general, Stranger Things has been a very good series altogether. That every single season has been good. It's just you do have the seasons that are eh.
Okay, I said season 3 was my lowest, and I would give that like a high 7. So that's not bad.
Exactly.
But I just think in comparison to season 1 and 2, they're so tight. Season 3 was the beginning of getting so much filler, and I really hated Billy and Max in that season. I couldn't stand them.
It's season 2 or 3?
3. That's when they come.
No, they come in season 2.
They come in season 2.
But they're more.
No. Season 2 is when they
season
go to
3
the
is when
arcade
Billy
in the
died.
first episode.
Yeah,
Okay?
Yeah, but that's when they're more like
Anyway,
characters.
I don't know. The way I would rank the seasons, I don't think I said mine, is I would put season 3 as my favorite season.
That's crazy.
I had to go back. At the beginning, I was saying it was my worst, and then I went back after I watched it. I went and watched like a thing that broke down what happened in the season, and I thought about it, and I think season 3 is my favorite. Season 1 is my second favorite. Season 4, and then season 2. Season 2 is my least favorite by far. But it's still great, like you guys said. It's even that being said, it's still like
they lost focus along the way of the vibe of the show. Where I feel like in this season, in like episode 5 and 6, maybe even not really in 7. 7's kind of a waste of time. 5 and 6, you really get that feeling back. The bikes, all those like references that they have, the feeling of them just being together. It's all I need is Steve and Dustin. And I don't need anything else.
Yeah, but we got so much of that this season, so
that's
you're
what
getting
I'm saying.
what you want.
And I got it later. That's what, and I wanted.
And you also got bikes on the last episode.
Exactly.
So.
That's what
that
I'm saying.
scene was so cool how it showed the kids riding the bike and then it flipped over.
Yeah,
that was such a good idea. I love that they did that.
But see, another thing, and I think this is the reason why 3 is kind of not there, is because the reason it's not the highest on the list is because the whole mind flare situation, we all knew that was coming because of the other seasons. But I think that's such a big thing that it came a little too soon. Like the creature they had in this new season feels like it's between the flare and the Demogorgon, where it's like you would think of season 1.
But I think it's leading up to giving us the flare in season 5.
Yeah, the mind flare is going to be season 5. That's going to be the finale, buddy.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but I'm talking about not the mind flare, but the what do you call it? The flare.
The mind flare. You're talking about the mind flare.
No, I was talking about the Vesuvio.
No, not the
No,
new
he's
one.
not talking about Vecna or whatever.
I'm
his
talking
name
from
is.
season 3.
That's mind flare. Yeah, we didn't get the finale with the mind flare. Remember?
Well, no, I get it, but I'm talking about that's what I'm saying. Like that whole fight in the mall and everything. Like that's a bigger creature compared to the one that's in this one. You know what I mean? So like I feel like when you're going from Demogorgon to straight to that, I think that's what kind of lost me more to what I like, because I like when it's kind of like when you're playing a video game. You're going from each boss battle to a bigger one, and when you're going from that to this one. That one I felt like was a little too big for the moment, and that's why it felt kind of offish.
Yeah, but again, that's going to be the finale. We're going to get that in season 5.
I think,
sure.
look, an easy way to just sum up season 3 and the reason it's low for me is because you had such an impactful moment where Hopper sacrificed himself, and then just to find out he's not dead is like you just wasted all my time. What's the point of making me feel sad for this guy if it was literally for no reason?
Yeah, but that's your own stupidity for thinking he died, because right off the bat, I'm like, he didn't die, he escaped. Like that's your stupidity. You're dumb for that.
That's the writers fucking with you, but keeping it in a way that they don't lose their asset. Which
No, but you want to know what
Millie
else they
Bobby
did?
Brown even said it in her interview that they need to start killing characters off because it's losing the impact of what's happening on the show.
Well-
And Putty said that the other day.
Listen, if you look at what happened at the end, because let's get back to talking about season 4 now. Enough talking about the other seasons right now. But if you get back to what happened, remember in the beginning of the season, we all thought that Hopper jumped through the portal and that's how we ended up in Russia. They tricked us. That's not what happened. He fell down underneath the machine, that big laser machine, and then they took him back to Russia.
But I kind of feel that was definitely less anticlimactic than the portal thing. Like I would actually.
Oh, I
Yeah,
agree. I agree. But I'm
exactly.
saying that's their way of tricking the audience, is us thinking, oh, he jumped
Right.
into the portal. They're like, no, he didn't.
But especially when you take all of that information and you transition it to season 4, where until the very last episode, nothing in the Hopper storyline matters at all. Zero of it. And they waste so much of your time showing you this garbage and nothing matters.
Okay.
And the same thing with 11. Nothing in 11's storyline matters at all until the last episode.
Well, I do want to jump in and say that was the one thing I had a little bit of frustration with. Here's my thing. I love the Hopper storyline, but it drags on so much. Like I love the whole thing of when they fight the Demogorgon. That is such a great moment in the show. And by the way, there's another character I'm pointing out that I was very predictable, but when we get to that part, I will say it. But that scene, it dragged on too much. I understand. I think they were just trying to separate Joyce from the kids to have them have their own thing because the kids are getting older now.
They need
really
to
don't
do
need
the groups. This is their thing. This is what I was saying about the way the writing works, like from season 3. A perfect example. Look at the way they got segregated into their groups again. It was perfectly into the same groups they've had for the last 3 seasons. They keep putting them in the same groups, and they're doing that because they know that's what people want. So they're like, okay, what can we do with Joyce? Well, Joyce has to eventually end up with Hopper, so we're going to send Joyce to find Hopper.
Yeah, with Murray.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked what
Murray was dope in this season.
I
Yeah,
agree.
he always-
my
he
God,
always
Murray was
is.
The
the best.
black belt and everything.
No, because he actually had the karate was the best part.
Yeah, I know. I obviously anybody that watches like movies like that or TV shows like that or anything like that, you're thinking he's gonna be shit at karate, right?
And he was a
You're
baby.
That's what I
he's
mean,
gonna
and it was
be like a
awesome that
trash
he wasn't.
can.
When he threw the
Yeah.
fireball and he was like,
Or when
I
he's
throw
in
fireballs because I'm a wizard.
when he's in the office at the Russian building, like the thing to open up those gates where the Demogorgon was, and he snaps and knocks out everybody in like a millisecond. That's the best. I love that.
That was
scene.
awesome. There's so much good in this season. Don't get me wrong. I just think you could have shortened the run times on every single episode by a lot, and you wouldn't have noticed the difference.
I think I fast forwarded through probably an hour of this whole
So
season.
I did this
far.
test today while I was watching specifically. I think I just had to watch the last episode. What I did was I got to parts where I wasn't interested and I fast forwarded a chunk and then I watched it for a bit and then I rewound and then rewatched the part that I skipped. And nothing that I missed in the part that I skipped mattered in
Yeah,
the
John, I
episode.
did that in Batman, the new Batman that came out. You could just tell when there's certain things that are happening. They're like, this is not going to give me any information I want. Just skip past it. I do that with everything I watch nowadays.
Well, I get it. I wouldn't have done it for Batman because it's Batman. But
I
at the same
understand,
time,
but-
it's a 3-hour movie. And if you're just going to waste my time with a bunch of stuff, I fully understand that.
Yeah,
Like
but-
every one of these episodes is over an hour except episode 3, which is so tight and well put together. Episode 3 is great.
yeah.
Episode 4 is the best episode.
Agreed.
I can't pick a best episode. You guys have to explain to me what happens. But one thing I do want to jump into quick that I've been really, really, really curious about is, was I the only person that knew right away who number 1 was?
Yes, that's exactly the person I was going to say.
No,
soon
as
but
I-
I knew exactly
let's-
what the storyline was gonna be once that guy came. I didn't think he was gonna be one, but I figured he was gonna have some kind of power, and that's what happened.
But I already knew he had power, and the reason I knew he was one is because as soon as he said to her, "You're special," and he talked about the whole one thing. As soon as he brought up one, I was like, he's one. Like, why would he? That was such a
Yeah, but think
foreshadowing.
of it from a writing standpoint, and don't get me wrong on it being easy to see it, but if you're the writers and you're the casual viewer, why would you think the guy who works there is one of them? You wouldn't
Because-
think that.
Because
That
of
was
the way the way that the writing gave it away for me, it's all in the writing. He looked at 11 and said, I used to be, he said, I was good friends with number 1 or something like that.
Yeah,
As soon as he
yeah,
said that, I'm
exactly,
like, he's
yeah.
number 1. Because
Yeah.
why would you
Mhm.
say that to 11?
But listen,
She didn't ask
number
who's
two-
number 1.
Number 2 was
Yeah.
also just as old as that guy, and he would have known that that was number 1 the whole time.
The
Well,
thing
even-
that I didn't realize is that number 1 was gonna be Vecna the whole time. That I didn't realize.
That I
Yeah,
didn't
that
get
was the
either.
part. Here's the thing. Well, the two things I didn't realize is even to the end, the first scene that where they released the first 8 minutes. Even when I saw him, I said he's going to be involved in that because they were stationing her so much in just being in the science lab. Like I was like, he's going to be part of it. What
Yeah.
really shocked me was when they got into a fight because I even saw the fight coming when he left her behind. I was like, oh wait, this is when it's going to happen. I think this is when it's going to happen. Then what ended up happening was she came in, that all happened, the fight. What made me get shocked is to realize that she utilized him to make the portal that I even remember when we actually had that discussion. I said, I have a feeling she's going to open the portal for her to use him as a way to open the portal and then turn him into to what's his name. That's the part that made me go,
Vishnu.
whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, well,
insane.
Mhm.
Before we jump on to another thing, Mac, do you have anything you want to say about that? About knowing that was number 1 from the moment he hopped on the screen?
I didn't. I only realized it until after he convinced 11 to like pull out the chip, because as soon as like,
I knew how. Really? It
really
took you
like,
that long, huh?
No, but let me.
It was just
it
it
was
wasn't
what
enough
Mac's
time.
saying,
Let him
though,
finish. Let Mac finish. Go ahead.
even when he got her to pull up the chip until it came out, he doesn't seem like he's up to
Dude,
anything.
right. As
Mhm.
soon as he started talking to 11 about a plan, at that point I knew he was 1, and that's when I knew he was a bad
Okay, but
guy.
he
As soon as
could've-
he's trying to
he-
convince
his plan-
11,
his plan was to free her, and he wasn't even expecting her to take the chip out.
No,
So
that-
she could've
again-
just left.
But
dude,
the reason-
listen to what I'm gonna tell you guys again. Is right off the bat, right when he was getting a beating from what's his name again, Brenner in the office room, they're throwing him the beating.
You had the go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
that right there, I was like,
Yep.
there's something. They're not throwing him a beating because he's telling 11 secrets. They're throwing him a beating because they probably know he's up to something.
But
Look
then
how
why
bad
would they
he
let him
was.
go back and spend time?
No,
with her?
I didn't say as
Because
far
he
as
had
the-
a chip in his neck, dude. He had a chip
then
where he
why
can't
did
use
they
his
beat him up?
powers.
But no,
because-
listen.
Okay, go, buddy, go.
Yeah, let me jump in for that because the thing is, I agree with Nikki on this. Here's the thing: the beating up part is because I think what it is they had to keep control of him, because the thing is,
They already have control of him.
right, but they have control of him. But the thing is he could just be like give up on life. You know what I mean? Like I think they're not trying to let him die. They were just trying to torture him to say, hey, listen, we still have that control over you. It's a reminder. It's a way of saying, hey, we're keeping you in check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see, the thing is even then I said he's going to get revenge on them. But what really sealed the deal that he was the bad guy was exactly what Mac just said. When he was taking 11 that way, my head was still like, because you know how when I'm watching these things, I'm thinking in the beginning going, when's this part going to happen? You know, whenever they do that foreshadowing of something happening.
Mhm.
And so when he went and took her out that way, I was like, why is it she's leaving now? Doesn't that part with her happen? And then when he was like, he was talking about his chip, and then she started saying, I'm gonna take the chip out. I was like, that's it. He's gonna get his powers back. He's gonna go back.
Yeah, no, I knew it before that
that's-
because
yeah.
they tried to do some Quentin Tarantino shit with showing us the ending or whatever, that ending of that bit at the beginning of the show.
No, they
And-
babied you by doing that because that allowed you to
that
understand what was happening.
That's bait. They're like making you wait to like so you could see the juicy
But like
bit.
I told you before, I never felt like that's what happened.
But either way, besides the point, as soon as they did that, that's why I don't like that they did that. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have showed us that scene at the beginning. They shouldn't have done that at all. Because right when I started seeing this guy, I'm like, okay, first of all, he's number 1 for sure. And by the way, before the season even came out, in my stream, we were talking. Mac, I bring it up to you. We were talking about who is number 1. Before the season even dropped, I was curious because I'm like, when it's showing all the kids' numbers, I didn't see a number 1 there. So who's the number 1?
it
so
literally
before
showed 2 people's numbers.
No, it shows in the first 8 minutes. It zooms in and it shows Doom.
It shows
Doom.
literally 2.
No,
I
it
watched
doesn't.
it
It
twice
shows
now.
way more than 2. You're wrong. Either way, besides the point. So before we jump into something else, I just want to read some of these comments here. Neo said, "I don't think Hopper and Eleven's story is a waste of time. I think it's building up to something." Okay, for sure, Neo, 100%, obviously.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
hold on. Let me address that situation now. It's building up to something, obviously, because that's where the season's going. But everything from the start of it till where it got didn't
Mhm.
matter. It only mattered that last little bit that we saw.
That-
Everything before that didn't matter.
Let's
Yeah.
put it this way: what it felt like is if you take the chunk out with Joyce getting drugged and and that one guy coming in that they basically was trying to get that extra money. If you take that whole chunk of that money thing and the prison,
you
stuff,
could have erased every single scene
Exactly.
of Hopper in jail. It didn't
If
matter.
This is go, sorry, buddy.
I
Finish
was
your
gonna
thought.
say, I was gonna say, if they were to go straight to Joyce just bringing the money and then releasing him out of jail, all that stuff, that chunk in between, would not have even mattered because they could have got the money from her, tricked her, brought her into the prison. She witnesses, boom, we're literally set up to where
and it's not like
you
okay,
didn't need all that.
when I say it doesn't matter, I should clarify this. It's not because it's bad. Once again, it's because these episodes are so unconscionably long. Like they're ridiculously long, and they don't need to be that long. They're so bloated. There's so much going on. You could just take those scenes out and make it so much more digestible for everybody to watch the show.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
Nine
need to watch 20 hours of 7 episodes.
Nine said Hopper's story isn't bad. I just don't like how he's in Russia the whole season, probably getting out the last 2 episodes. For sure, he is obviously. This is my problem that I said right from before the season even came out. I was saying this, Mac. You probably remember me saying this.
Yeah,
I do not want the Hopper story to drag out. This is how it should have went, in my opinion. Joy should have found out that he was there in episode 1. Episode 2, it should have shown them flying out with the money, meeting up with the guy, getting into the beef on the plane. They crash. It cuts all of that garbage out of them doing all of that preparing in the snow and the whole thing, and it shows them driving to the prison. They get to the prison. It cuts off the whole bit of them like talking to the Russian guard. That was literally like a half an hour waste of my time. And they get to the prison. They're watching Hopper fight the Demogorgon, and that's that. That should have been all of the Hopper. We did not need to see Hopper breaking his ankle. We did not need to see Hopper fighting the guard and then failing. All of that was a complete waste of time. And also, I don't know if you guys
that theory, Bryson.
I don't know if you guys remember, but the guy says to Hopper, "I have a flamethrower in my shack here, whatever." So basically, they're gonna go get the flamethrower and kill the Demogorgon.
Yep.
Too easy for me to predict what's gonna happen in that situation. I already know it, so now don't even show it to me. They're gonna get out. They're gonna break from the thing. The Demogorgon's gonna be chasing them. They're gonna get the flamethrower, burn it to shreds, and then they're gonna go back.
Yes,
to
because
Hopkins.
also to make this easy, Demogorgons don't matter anymore. They're just like a kind of difficult fight on the side of getting where they need to go. So like from now on, whenever they fight Demogorgons, they're gonna win like every time.
Yeah, Demogorgons are like easy for them now. You know, it's like they I don't know, but either way, besides the point. When it comes down to the soundtrack, this season had such a freaking solid soundtrack. Dude.
Oh my goodness, I agree.
Well, it's still I mean, for me, it's 80s music, and there's not really much 80s music I don't like.
90% of this soundtrack though is just Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush.
No, there's so many other songs. I'm telling
There's
you.
barely any other songs.
No, the first episode had like at least 5 different songs.
It did, yeah. And then you hear when they're talking about someone that's crazy. I forget who they're talking about, and it starts playing the Talking Heads. What's that song called again? Psycho Killer.
Yeah,
that was so
dope.
good.
Anytime you play Psycho Killer in a show,
and it was like a remix version. I definitely think the soundtrack was solid in the season. I would love to go back and
I think their soundtracks have always been good. Even just their techno score, that like dan, dan, like when things are happening, I'm so down with that.
Yeah, me too. I love that. I love that heavy synth style 80s music. Okay, so anybody else want to say anything about the soundtrack?
Well, no, not particularly strong. I mean, I love
listen
every
to
bit
Kate
of it.
Bush.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is Susie. I freaking love Susie's whole family. That is
Susie
dope,
got so dope
I
in
was
this
surprised.
season. When she starts saying shit every 2 seconds when they're in the house, I was like, oh man, I'm so...
And
And I
Susie's
never liked her
sister-
before. I was so on board
Susie's
with
sister.
Yeah, I love
It
the way that they introduced Susie last season was so awesome. That way that like everyone thought that Dustin didn't actually have a girlfriend, and then he
we're
calls
talking
her.
about Susie. Sorry, I'm thinking of...
I was wondering what you're talking about.
Lucas's sister.
Oh, okay. You're thinking of
I always forget her name. Yeah,
Either way.
Susie's house was like
Erica,
wild as hell.
Susie is the daughter I wish I could have. I mean, she's just the coolest girl ever, and I want to adopt her.
Listen, at the end of the day, the way that they introduced Susie last season, where everyone thought it was Dustin's girlfriend, and then they found out it was, and then it teleports and goes like you actually get to see her, and then they do the whole that song Never Ending Story.
Yep.
So after that, in my opinion, I was like, we're never gonna see Susie again. She was just a throwaway character for that season, because they probably like needed something to save that moment.
I hope we get Argyle and the sister. We get more of that.
But anyway, I'm trying to finish my thought here. When you see Susie in episode 1 and she's helping Dustin cheat on his homework, I was like, let's freaking go, dude.
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
gonna
That's
be
just Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. cheating and hacking the system.
There's so
change
many
the
references like
grades?
that that were so great when it comes to like the 80s references and everything. Not even just war games. When
Yeah, I definitely
The
want to
War
get
Games
into the
part was really
references.
smart.
I definitely want to get
actually.
into the references, but I do want to finish talking about Susie's family. Her sister seems so freaking badass too. I hope she joins them on that
Yes.
adventure they
No,
go
in
on.
season 5, they're definitely going to be like in the journey.
Yeah,
I
I hope
hope
so.
so.
I
promise you,
want
they're gonna
Susie
be
and
on
Susie's
it.
sister to be there, and maybe even that little karate brother that kept turning the lights
the
off.
Cornelius.
Cornelius.
Well, here-
This introduction was very deliberate. Like they're trying to
And
get
well
us to
done.
know
Very
those
well
two
done.
characters so they can bring them back.
See, the way it's starting to sound, the way it's going to work is basically we're going to have the subset of Dustin, everyone in Hawkins, and now the whole story with Mike and Will and all them are going to be there. But I feel like what's going to happen is Mike is going to be the connection between both worlds, which will connect 11 to all of it, and then we'll have Argyle, his new girlfriend, which awesome Argyle. I want you to have that girl. And just I think what they're doing is they're spreading out the storyline to where it's going out of Hawkins, Indiana, and going into a bigger world where things are not just in one place. Where I think eventually the cursed state or cursed city, I should say, is now going to be expanded upon. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like more rifts can be found.
Oh yeah, I think most of season 5 is going to take place in the Upside Down. Because they've learned how to communicate with it. So you're going to have one group in the Upside Down and one group at the top, and they're going to be like communicating. Okay, but I have a thing. Of all of the kids, like none of them are kids anymore.
Nope.
But they all still can pass for like high school kids, technically. Will looks like a 40-year-old man with a bowl cut. I don't understand it. He looks older than Jonathan. It just doesn't make sense.
And there's one other thing that kind of bothers me, and the thing is I have a feeling it doesn't bother me that it's actually happening, but I feel like it's like one of those things they're setting up, and it's just so obvious. Is that Will likes Mike? Like
everyone knew
season.
that exactly. And one thing that I've been getting annoyed about is everyone's like they were using this in my stream because I streamed the up to like a countdown leading up to the season, and a lot of people were saying Mike isn't gay. He's not going to come out of the closet. They wouldn't do that in the 80s. And I forgot about this. Robin did last season.
Yeah,
so what is everyone? People are making that argument on Twitter too, saying that
Will is going to come out as gay. But the problem is that Mike won't because Mike is in love with 11 and they can't.
No, Mike. I don't think anyone thinks Mike is gay.
No, but I mean, what does Will think he's going to get out of this?
Well, that's what the self-conscious thing is. That's why he made the painting for him, is because
he's in love with him.
He's expressing his feelings, and then what's going to happen is Mike, and I could see it already when Mike was in that bedroom. I think even Mike knows in some ways, but he's a little bit confused on how Will's acting. And I think what's going to happen is Mike is going to find his way. Like I already knew.
Mike already knows. You could tell that's exactly what's going to happen.
But he's trying to
like avoid it.
Well, not even just what I feel like he's waiting for Will to come out and say it.
But
so
it's
that way he can break it down. Like
Will should just know. Will should have a confrontation with him because Will should know. This is not chasing Amy, okay? You're not gonna turn a lesbian into a straight person. So, I mean, Will should know that him and Mike are not ever gonna be a thing.
Well, Reborn says Will's not going to be gay. No, he definitely is already.
Yeah.
He clearly is. Like, they keep hinting at it. The writers know what they're doing.
They're pushing it. Like,
that.
You could see it. Yeah. There's no way that you don't see it. Like, the way he acts around Mike and the way 100%. He pulled out that painting. Like, you can see the simple things. Like, the way he acts.
I want the painting to be like them as two shirtless horsemen. What are they called? Like,
yeah, I can't wait to see what that painting is. It's going to be hilarious to find out.
Horses on their lower half and, like, big muscular men on the top half.
But like I said, you could
centaurs.
Exactly. But you can see the subtle hints they're showing there that show Will's like trying to tell him, but then he sees him go towards 11 and is so infatuated that he's like, no, this isn't the time. It's like, Will, are you not seeing that if Mike even knows right now, he's also trying to give you hints. You know what I mean? That he knows, but he doesn't. You know what I mean?
I definitely wanted to bring that up because, like I said, I see it a lot where people are like, it doesn't make sense for, I don't know what happened to my brother.
I meant to click stop sound because I wanted to blow my nose when I click stop video.
Oh, well, we just shifted, everyone. How's it going?
But anyway, yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I heard a lot of people saying it doesn't make sense for Will to come up because it's the 80s and that wasn't acceptable in the 80s. And I'm like, hey, Robin already did, dude. Were you not watching season 3? Did you miss season 3?
I don't think acceptable or not matters because this show is made now.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to make it
not
acceptable.
Thinking of anything as bad as it sounds. They're not thinking of the thought process of what would happen in the 80s. They're thinking of the thought process of we can get get a different audience if we do this.
No, I don't
Right.
think it's one of those things either.
It
I don't
is
think they're trying to
definitely
like.
one of those things.
But I'm
I don't
actually going
know.
to go
I
on the boundary of
disagree.
both. I feel like it is one of those things as well as it's a part of the 80s anyway. Think about it this way. The late 80s to early 90s, and when you started seeing more culture in that. Prime example, Casing Amy, you literally just named out that, John. That was a 90s movie. You know what I mean? So it feels like that might be the reason why they're saying it's a good time, because it's getting into the late 80s of the series. So it's a good time for
Well,
someone that wouldn't feel comfortable that way to try to,
listen, ship Robin and Nancy. That's what that's what I'm saying. They're
I
like
mean,
a perfect couple.
I agree.
And it's
I
so
agree.
weird that like that's what I don't understand about the show. They play off these dynamics and it's just so strange. Like they make Robin kind of work with Steve and also kind of work with Eddie. Is that the guy's name, Eddie?
Yeah.
But then you know that she's gay, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but that's just like that's how it is in real life, right?
It's just
like,
chemistry with friends. It's not
Yeah,
chemistry.
exactly. I
Yeah,
like the
but
way that
they're
they.
not playing it like that kind of chemistry. They're like trying to keep you on your toes, but it doesn't.
Okay, but a
really
good
make-
example
it's like
of
a
what-
sexual tension.
A good example of what I'm saying with the sexual tension is with Steve and Nancy.
Yes, but
You
that's
s-
not even. That's more than.
But you
sexual
know
tension
that they're
that's
not
gonna
gonna.
happen.
You listen. You know that
No,
they're
it's gonna
not.
happen.
You know that they're not gonna date. They're not gonna. She's definitely gonna go back with Jonathan.
She's
That's
gonna
obvious.
break up with Jonathan.
She's definitely gonna break up with.
No, I'm
Jonathan.
telling you, they're literally tricking
Jonathan
you.
still hasn't told her that they're not going to the same college together yet.
Yeah, but I mean that's like I hate that whole plot thing. Like I got accepted. I'm not going. You know that
I
whole
feel
but
like
all
I
that
that's
thing
his
is
think
way
such
of
that
getting
annoying.
they both know that this is over for them, but they're just trying to hang on to it. You could tell in the way when Robin talks to her at the library and like the hints that she drops that's like what's gonna happen.
Heartbroken says it's a 100% one of those things talking about Will being gay thing. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
it's
it is.
not.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. I definitely don't think
the
it's shoved down
character
our
work in this
throat.
season, the character work in it is really good.
Yeah.
The way
I
they're
agree.
developing people and the interrelationships between everyone. But like, okay, let's get the elephant out of the room here because we talked about this in the last episode. They're doing the upside down rope thing through the ceiling. Okay,
Yeah.
what stops the Vesuvius when he's attacking?
He only attacks.
Music.
Their favorite
Okay,
song.
so literally on the other side of that hole is Max with headphones and a player. Why didn't she drop
Because
it through
it's got to
to
be the
Nancy?
favorite song. It's got to be the favorite song. Remember?
Favorite
Yeah,
song.
David
that's
said
a
it.
good
Nancy's
point.
favorite song.
I
is
forgot about
Running Up
that.
Hill
No, it's
by
not.
Kate
No,
Bush.
it's not Nancy's
It
favorite
is. I
song.
promise you.
No, it's
Anyways,
Listen, the thing is that I don't think that's. I'm happy you brought this up because I don't think that the Vesuvius, whatever his name is, the Vecna, wanted to kill
Vecna.
Nancy at all, right? Because Nancy's
he's using Nancy to get
yeah.
at the other ones.
No,
Yeah.
'cause-
No.
no.
I-
Vecna's definitely gonna try and get Nancy because
No.
No,
I gotta stop you on that and say the reason why I don't think he's getting Nancy is because there's a whole ploy to it. Remember, he gives them nightmares. He sets up people.
Nancy
that are,
hasn't got any of that, right?
He hasn't got any stuff.
yes, she does.
No, she
has,
doesn't.
the
How do
Gil,
we
he
know she
goes for
hasn't
Gil.
admitted it yet? She's like the most tight ass of everyone. She
Dude,
never
I
admits
promise
anything.
Yeah,
you-
but for Barbara, she's still guilty about Barbara.
Yes,
'cause she
exactly.
thinks she-
And we don't
Okay,
know.
yeah,
Nancy
good-
never talks to anyone about her feelings.
Okay,
Exactly.
Good point. But why would he show Nancy all of that stuff of him as a kid, him in the lab? There's a reason why he did that to Nancy.
But he's also at the same time 11 is finding out those same things.
No, but my point is usually that guy when he put people into that dream state, it was always to scare them. That wasn't scaring Nancy. She was just like observing it.
There's steps to it. Everyone was even talking about. Remember, there were steps. So there was the nightmare phase. They said it was the people that were actually going through trauma. These are things that Nancy, although she did deal with the whole Barbara thing, which he did show her that was the only thing he had available to use against Nancy. Everything else he did, the trauma, the nightmares. This is stuff that wasn't set up for Nancy because I think what's happened is he's getting desperate. So he grabbed Nancy quickly because he saw them escaping, and he grabbed Nancy quickly. And think about this. There's one thing I want to point out that I forgot to point before. When we found out that one was actually that kid that moved into the house, he was always a sensitive person. He used vulnerability as his a way to take over people because they were vulnerable. There's a reason he's taking Nancy, not because she's vulnerable, because he's desperate. They're finding out how ways to get out, and now Nancy was right there about to leave, and this is literally creating a chunk or a wedge in their escape.
Steve.
I think you're digging a hole looking for something that's not there.
But I think he's onto something. I do think
he
that there's
has a
more.
good idea, but I'm telling you, this is what's happening. He knows that on the other side of that hole is Max, and he knows the only person he can grab onto right now is Nancy, so he's just doing it.
But remember,
saying,
remember the deeper plot. Now that we know it because of the last episode, is that he and 11 have a long history, right?
But right now,
and-
the only person who's still alive that's having the dreams is Max.
Well, yeah.
Well, she hasn't had a dream since.
No, yeah, exactly.
But
I
she
think,
hasn't
yeah.
gone to sleep.
No,
Either way,
she's been
I-
listening to music too.
I think Max is in the clear now. To be honest with you, I really do. I think they're gonna find out that like if
But
you
I
break
think there's some kind of link between him and Max. I think that's going to be a deeper thing coming up.
or
And also,
maybe
okay, Super Hot Babe Steve could have literally just lifted like 19-pound Nancy and put her through the hole during this whole thing.
Whoa, John! You just hit a key there that I just thought about right now in this moment.
That Steve's a super hot babe.
Well, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
No, you literally just said it when I just thought about it. If you remember, what's his name? I can't think of his name. The guy that's in the Same Sound, played by Freddy Krueger himself. Which, by the way, love that. That's there.
Yeah,
Such a
go
reference
on.
to that. If you look at him, he has a redheaded person, and this with him in that lineage, she could be related in that way. Now that I'm thinking about it, she could be related to that family because I'm trying to remember. Isn't she adopted? Wasn't her real family in the?
no,
in
you see her mom with red hair. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. She was.
And they moved
okay.
from California.
That's right. Okay, never mind. Then
But also, this is another weird thing that I like. I'm not willing to let go of this continuity. The kid, every time they show one as a kid, he has black hair, and then when
That's
he's
true.
older, he has blonde hair.
Yeah,
That
I'm
doesn't
okay with
happen
you
in
being
real
angry
life.
about that. I've always been mad with
Like,
dumb things like that.
That,
But I
I
think
was like, why wouldn't you just dye that kid's hair blonde?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. But the kid did look like him. Other than the hair, the kid did look like him. In my
I
opinion.
agree with that.
Yeah, the kid was like the perfect person
Okay,
for
but
the
can we
role.
talk about the nice addition of
No, I
Nancy and Mike's little sister? Every little scene she's in
Holly?
is so funny. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I don't even understand what the point of the character is, except to just be there and make faces every time they do something.
I love that they
When
ripped the
Dustin's explaining
Freddy
Freddy
Krueger.
Krueger.
yeah.
Or
I
when
love
they
when they
over
do that,
light bright,
especially
like,
with the
this is for your
connection.
troubles.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
gonna
he
say. I
gets
love when they
rid
do
of
that. They rip the nightlight out of her hands and they give her Skittles. That's hilarious. But yeah, I did want to mention one thing about when they're in the Upside Down. My predictions are what's going to happen starting in the next season. So I think, or the next half of, or the 2 episodes, whatever. I think that Nancy is going to snap out of it. She's not going to do the floating broken arm thing. 100% that's not going to happen to Nancy. Because in my opinion, this guy, for some reason, likes Nancy and just wants her as a reporter to have this information. Because who knows? Maybe, who knows? I don't know why, but it just seems fishy to me. Because
Maybe he wants his dad to get free, so with this information he'll get free or something. I
maybe,
don't know.
yeah. And remember, he has Nancy now. He could easily break her bones, snap her neck, rip out the eyes, and she'd be dead. He's not going to do that.
What?
Nancy's going to snap out of it. She's going to jump up quick, and then 11 in the lab, getting her powers back, is going to snap, close all the portals, and Steve's going to be
Steve is gonna get
trapped.
stuck there. I was just
Yes.
gonna say that.
Because
From watching trailers, I have a pretty good understanding of what's going to happen, which really bummed me out. I feel like trailers gave way too much
I agree.
detail.
I agree.
Like I could tell.
Seeing
what
Steve
was
running
gonna
in the
happen.
Upside Down by himself, all scratched up, is what's going to happen.
No.
That portal,
No,
11 snapping out of it, getting her powers back, closing the portals, and Steve is trapped
Okay,
in the
let
Upside Down.
Mac tell us what he's thinking. Okay.
Go,
Well,
Matt.
I'm like 100% sure I know what it is because of the trailer.
We'll
Tell
say it,
us.
Matroni. We want to hear
All
it.
right, so in the trailer, Eddie, he has his guitar in the thing. So I think he's gonna go into the Upside Down because he's like tired of running from everything. So he's gonna go in the Upside Down, get on top of the trailer, and play his favorite song. And while they escape, and all the bats come to him, and then
Okay, and that's what's
Portal
gonna happen.
close.
I have another take that they beat this monster on Earth, and it closes all the portals, and Steve gets stuck there, and he pulls a will, and the next season is gonna be like 2 years later, and no one's gonna know what happened to Steve, and then they're gonna have contact with him from the other side that he's still alive, and they're gonna go back to get him, and it's gonna let the mind flare get out, and that's what's gonna happen.
Well,
You can't kill Steve.
No, listen. Here's my thing. I don't. Again, I haven't seen anything based on what Max said. I don't know
Max
what
is
information.
good.
Here's the thing. I do see the guitar coming in, and the one guy, Eddie, he
Well,
really.
you see it in the trailer, Buddy. That's why you said that.
Yeah, I know. But that's my whole point, though. I think what it is it just like the whole Ozzy Osbourne thing, which again was an urban legend and everything. It's not real, but the whole Ozzy Osbourne thing, he was so hyped to tell him about that. Like Ozzy, Black Sabbath, like he was so into it. I feel like if he does want to go out with a blaze of glory, they're gonna know music is.
You're
the
saying
key
that
to
was
fighting it.
foreshadowing something.
Yeah, that's basically him fighting it with music. It's basically like Brutal Legend, but in Stranger Things. You know what I mean?
I think
Fighting
Mac's
with the
theory is
guitar.
good about him jamming out, with his guitar to his favorite song or someone else's favorite song.
I think it might be the creature's favorite song. Oh no, well, I'll say it would be odd,
Also,
though.
it's not urban legend. He really bit a bat's
He,
head
yeah,
off.
I was gonna say. I thought he did that on stage. He didn't
No,
do
He
like.
thought-
he denied he never did that.
Yeah, he said that he did it. The bat was there, and he thought it was a rubber bat, and it was part of the show. And he bit the head off and realized it was a real bat.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, I'm pretty sure that's not real. But okay, again, like I said,
Okay,
Google
so-
it. Someone Google it.
Another thing that I noticed. Yeah, somebody in the chat Googled, did Ozzy Osbourne really eat a bat? Somebody Google that.
Didn't
Okay.
eat it.
Or bite the bat's
The
head
head
off
of
and
a
spit
bat
it
off,
into the
yeah.
crowd. Anyway, besides the point, one thing that I noticed, and I bring this up to my brother earlier today, is that you don't see Will, Mike, Argyle, or Jonathan for the last 2 episodes, do you? They're like completely gone, right?
I think
And
it's just okay.
last time we seen them, they were at Susie's, right?
What are they going to look for?
They were
They're
going to
no,
Susie's to
what's
find
gonna
out the
happen is
location of
they're
where
gonna
11
find
was.
11.
That's what they were going to
be the
do.
ones that find 11.
Mhm.
But 11's safe, right? 11's not in danger where she is. I think everyone over there is good people.
Well,
Because
Does-
we're about to find out what Paul Reiser keeps saying, which I don't know what his character's name is.
Dr. Owens.
The other doctor is actually bad. And
Brenner.
they're lying to her. And there is something else going on right now.
No, but I think
Well-
Owens thinks that Brenner's a good guy as well. Go on, Mac.
Well, there's also those few scenes with the military for Owens when they're torturing him in this like locker, this heated locker, and the guy eventually tells the U.S. military where 11 is, but they like promise not to hurt her.
Oh, that's
So I
not
think it's
Dr. Owens
gonna-
you're talking about, but yeah, I got
No,
you.
this is, yeah, but he's right too. So you're going to have them going after her as well.
Yeah, so they're probably all gonna be at the bunker when she comes out outside, and they're gonna bow out, and then like Mike and
she's
them
gonna
show
go,
up, and
everyone's going to die.
yeah.
But Vicky, you even heard me say this. I had this feeling that we were going to go into like a situation where it's like kind of going to have bring the superhero thing because of the other characters from the other that they're in Los Angeles. I think it was what you talked about. Or, I can't remember,
No,
or
it was
New
like in
Jersey,
Chicago or something.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Chicago.
And that you could already see that being kind of set up because superheroes is such a big thing, and it kind of scares me for them to do it. But it's literally that point where she says to Mike in the letter, "I'm going to be a superhero." That just feels
Oh,
like
is
foreshadowing. of, like-
Chicago season 3?
Yeah,
I thought it was season. Yeah, it was season 3. Yeah.
2.
yeah, it was season 2 actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I
When-
was gonna say, I
when-
thought it
when
was
she
season
turns into a
2.
goth. Season 2.
All right, can I take that back? Season 2 is the worst season.
That's what I said. That's my point. That's what I've been saying this whole time. It's
thought
not
that
a
was season-
bad.
I thought
It's
that
not a
was-
bad
I
season.
thought that
but-
was season 3.
I thought that was season.
No,
3
season
as
2 is
well.
when they go. It's Halloween. They go to Ghostbusters. They meet Max. The whole arcade thing. Will's having those dumb flashbacks, and it's so cheesy. It's a good
Yeah,
season.
season 1 is definitely the best.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I like season 3 better
season
because
one is definitely
whatever.
the
Let's.
best.
We already had this conversation.
No,
Let's
we
not go
gotta
back to
have
it.
it again.
No,
we gotta
that's-
have
1,
this
3,
we're done.
4, and
We're
2
done.
are now
We're
my
done.
favorites. Now I think about it.
Mine is just 1 and then everything else.
All right, that's fair. 1 and then everything else is tied. So, is there anything else that we need to talk about? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I had planned to talk
I don't
about.
have
but
anything else.
I think we got to everything so far that we wanted to talk about.
I mean, there's some great like Easter eggs that are in
Yeah,
there.
that we could talk about
like,
that. The
No, I don't need
references.
Easter eggs.
I know that we see Dustin mentioned something about Weird Al at one point. I forget what it was, or
It
someone
was
mentioned
him
Weird
wearing
Al.
a Weird Al shirt. on
talking about his
Thursday
Weird Al
Festival.
shirt. Yeah,
And then he had the thinking cap on. Isn't that a reference to something?
that's not Weird Al, but that's just the whole thing they used to say. Put on your thinking cap back in the 80s.
They still say that now. It's not.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I think that was something big they started in the 80s. You know what I mean? There's a lot of 80s references.
There's
there. I mean,
a Rick Sanchez.
yeah, you were
uh,
the thing. Yeah,
There's a
Which
Rick
is kind-
Sanchez.
which is
From
really
Rick and
funny
Morty?
They put, yeah, which
Yeah.
is really funny. They put that as an Easter egg because Rick, literally none of the creators or anything with the Cartoon Network was even around in the 80s. So
Yeah, but it's a reference to their buddies who make Rick and Morty. Probably.
no, I get it.
Does anybody in the chat want to ask anything, guys? Because I think we're pretty much done with everything we got to say here. I know that Heartbroken had a good a thing here that what he's talking about.
Well,
He
while you're
said, "I
looking-
wish." Okay, go ahead, buddy.
I was saying while you're looking up, I already brought this to you, and I figured I'll tell everyone if you guys are watching it, have fun. It's not bad. Call those phone numbers. I think you'll have a fun time doing that. By the way.
Yeah, there is some hidden phone numbers. You guys can Google it or watch Putty's video to find it. I'll link to Putty's channel in the description, so make sure you guys check that out if you're interested. They added some hidden phone numbers that you can call, and it's like some weird noises and stuff. But either way, I wish the episodes weren't as long, and they would just make the final two the longest episodes at Heartbroken. Yeah, I agree, but remember how this was supposed to go, boys. This was supposed to be 5 episodes and then 4 episodes, right? So they definitely reworked things, made certain episodes longer, certain episodes shorter to make it the way it is, right? Because it was only supposed to be 5 episodes this half and then 4 the last half. So I think that
well,
they
in the
did
second half,
something.
isn't one of those episodes 2.5 hours?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
last episode is 2 hours and 20 minutes, and the second one is, I think, the second last, I think, is an hour and a half.
But see, I'm excited about that nonetheless because of one reason. That means that based on how everything they had set up, the way this looks like there's about to go into the final confrontation. But then at the same time, I feel like what's going to end up happening is we're going to get Hopper and them involved in that final confrontation, and somehow maybe towards the end they'll run in and be like, oh no, like coming in thinking, oh, we had a big deal with the Demogorgon, and then all of a sudden they're seeing here that these kids are fighting something way worse than the Demogorgon, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's one of
I
those
think they
Krueger
need
stuff.
to end it with Hopper just coming back and it ends, and then they do something the next season. Because, like I said, on top of the fact of Hopper's death losing its meaning, it's you can't keep having him as this savior character who's always saving them. They need to be able to do something on their own.
But they
Well, that's
did, though. The way that they, if you look at the structures of the season, right? In season number 1, 11 saves the day. Season number 2, 11 saves the day. Season number 3, Billy sacrifices himself, and so does Hopper. Now, season number 4, we're gonna find out what happens, right? So they have changed that around already.
No, but
because
in every season when Hopper's there, he does something that helps them get to the final thing.
everyone
that's-
does. Everybody holds their weight in the show. That's what I love about it.
But that's
I
what
think
I'm
they
saying.
did an
John.
amazing job doing the storylines. Like it was so balanced.
Yeah, I agree.
There wasn't one episode that was like heavily Mike's group or heavily 11 or heavily
Yeah.
But the
Hopper.
less Mike and Will we get, the better the show will be.
But
Um,
I will just jump on what John said about the whole thing. The reason I'm saying I agree about the whole Hopper, I'm not trying to say I want Hopper to save the day. I want Hopper to jump in at the end,
And save the
coming in.
day.
Well, no, I want him to come in and be like, "Hey, I just dealt with this big thing," and be like, "Oh crap, actually, you guys dealt with something bigger." Like, I feel like Hopper's gonna come in saying like, "Hey, I had to deal with something that you guys will not
So
understand."
you want to play
And
Hopper
then-
for like a shitty joke at the end of the season.
basically, yeah. So Hopper's basically, because remember, you said yourself, Hopper's always saving the day. Imagine Hopper fighting this Demogorgon, thinking these kids will not understand what I went through, and then they come back. And he
How do
comes
we
back,
kick
they-
this guy from the chat?
Well, do you understand that the greatness of these kids showing Hopper that they could handle it on their own? And it
They
proves
should
to
be.
Hopper-
This is the
But
fourth
that's my
time they
point.
fought an unearthly creature,
But
and
that's-
Mike
I-
and,
and
Will
I
have
don't
been
think,
absolutely
honestly, I don't
useless.
think Hopper's the type of guy that even cares if they do or not. You know, like he doesn't care.
He
if they're
just
the
wants to eat
heroes or not.
Eggos with 11.
Yeah, he's either way. Besides the point, Brace says, "Nikki, can you guys discuss this? Do you guys think that that basically the last 2 episodes will make this the best season so far?"
Yes.
No.
I think if they do certain things correct, I think that, no offense to all the Steve and Hopper fans, but both those characters are probably gonna die.
Yep.
And I think that if they do it in a right way, and they don't bring them back, it's going to be good. But I don't want to see what happened with Hopper again. I hate shows that do that. They kill off a character. 11 was supposed to die in season 1, guys. Remember that. Didn't we think 11 was also dead in season 1? Just like we thought Hopper was dead in season 3.
see,
So
my-
stop doing that. Stop debating us and making us think characters are dead.
Debaters.
Listen, you know where this all came from? Is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, Jon Snow died, but then he didn't. Came back
No,
the
but
next season.
Game of Thrones killed people off, and this show needs
Yeah.
to do it.
Well, here's my situation. The problem is I agree. I want to see Hopper killed off, but I feel like now the problem is we're not. Elle does love Hopper, and we see that in the beginning of the season. But now that she's separated, when she's with Papa instead of actually Hopper's or her dad, that at this moment, even though Papa's not good for the scientist, the problem I see is if you kill off Hopper towards the end of this in front of her, I feel like even though we have grown, they became apart so much that you won't feel the effects. So I don't know if that's a good idea to kill Hopper now, even though I want Hopper dead. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, can I give you
yeah,
one?
I
So
think Hopper should.
it's like if we were having an argument right now, and my brother was like, "I like the color yellow," and I was like, "No, I like the color purple. Yellow sucks," and he was like, "No, purple sucks." So then Putty would come in and be like, "Well, this is how I see it. I like purple, and purple's really good, but I also like yellow. That's like." Your way of solving all of our issues here is just
Well,
to
it's
like
not- but
compromise of both sides.
But no, I'm just trying to see it. I'm trying to see at the point of if you're looking on the outside, like killing Hopper off. I want him killed, but it's a matter of how you.
You
Nobody,
can't kill
no,
him
those
off.
I know those words you just said are so dumb. You want him to be killed off. It's not that I want him to, but
You
it's just
can't
that
kill
like,
you can't kill off Hopper again because his death has no meaning anymore because you already did it.
yeah, that's a good point.
You
get
need
that,
to
yeah.
kill
It's-
like Nancy.
Yeah,
That's how you
listen.
avoid. That's how you avoid the breakup situation.
In a perfect
you kill
world,
Nancy.
in a perfect world, I think that what makes sense is that Steve is gonna die. He's gonna get stuck
No,
in the upside down.
I just mind blew you. Nancy is going to be the one who dies. She's
No,
going to sacrifice
definitely
herself
not.
for it.
I think it's gonna be Robin.
because if
Wow,
Nancy
no, I
dies,
don't
then
think
we
Robin.
don't have to see the breakup between her or the rekindling of her and Steve or with her and Jonathan.
You might be right about that, but
I
at the end of the day,
I think it's gonna be Robin. I think
See,
Nancy.
no, you
and,
can't kill Robin. Okay,
no,
you
no.
can't.
Well,
I
think
need
about it.
Robin.
Okay, so Steve. Okay, let's just say, Eddie just doesn't go and save them. I bet you Robin, since Nancy and Steve are both like her only friends, she's gonna jump in there and save the day. Don't know how, but I think
That
out of
kind of makes
everyone,
sense. But listen, I don't
Robin's
care.
gonna
You
be the
can
one.
kill off every single character on the show as long as you don't kill Steve, Robin, or Dustin. And hashtag justice for Alexi.
yeah, Lexi's coming back next in the last 2 episodes. They're
Well,
bringing her
remember,
back.
everyone said Barb was going to come back in season 2, but that never
I mean,
happened.
technically,
so.
she did
I'm-
come back. You know, not in a good way.
Yeah, technically she did. We've seen her.
Yeah,
dead body
technically
this
we
month.
saw a weird CGI dead
I
person
know.
that looked
I
nothing
made
like her.
I made a horrible joke about that too. I said, "Well,
it didn't
hey,
look
you got
anything
Barb
like
back."
her.
You want to know what was funny? I forgot her name, but she came and sang the national anthem. And Steve
Oh
looks
my
over.
God, that was
Yeah, that
so
was
funny.
good. I like
Steve looks over and says, "I told you so" to Robin. That was so funny.
Yeah, they bring back that reference from. What didn't you say it was from season 3, Mac?
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
season 3 in the bathroom.
Yeah, she was saying. I forgot about that completely. Mac had to like remind me. Like, yo, they had a conversation saying that was her favorite singer or some shit.
Yeah, he
No,
was.
it
like,
was
yeah,
it
he
was
the one
her
saying she
high
likes
school
Gorilla.
crush.
Mhm.
Okay, so to wrap it up, I will say my I think I've already stated my opinions on next season. I think we all did, but I do think that as long as they play their cards right, this could potentially be one of the best seasons. It's starting off pretty solid. We got 3 hours of show left to watch, and that's gonna come July 1st. So
We have 4
anything
hours
else?
of show
Yeah,
left to
yeah. I
watch.
was about to say like 4.
Oh yeah,
4
4
and a
hours.
half.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. It would be like almost 4 hours, right? Because it's two something.
Which, if you
and a
go
half
back
and
to
one half.
season 1, that's like 5 episodes.
Yeah, that's true because they were like almost an hour each, right?
No, they were like 47 minutes.
45. Yeah,
Yeah.
40.
That's why I was shocked how long these episodes were. Because they felt these episodes this season were way longer than any other season's episode, or not all of them, but a lot of them were. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
I was saying this today on my stream. I was saying I think the way that they should have done this season is only giving us the 5 episodes like they planned to, because it was so much more digestible. After 5 episodes, I was like, okay, I'm done.
I would have been willing to take you don't even have to erase the filler. You don't have to at all. But make every single episode 47 minutes again and just make it 13 episode season or 15 episode season. I don't care.
Yeah.
It should have cut it off at episode 4, because that was when Max, like, the screen blacked out and Max just, we didn't know until the 5th episode.
But I think that there's other shows that influence other show creators to do this, and I think it's so annoying. Because do you remember Game of Thrones was the same thing? Did you hear this week's episode is going to be 2 hours long? Did you guys hear this week's episode is going to be 2.5?
That was like at the end.
Yeah.
The whole rest of it was like the
But I
rest,
think
the
they're
regular
they're
times.
like, again, they're doing things that other shows have done that have shown to be successful. That like everyone's going to be talking about how long the episodes are, and they can't wait to see what happens. And it must be the best episode ever.
Yeah, but you could tell based on how they ended this, the way they did it was to end it right here with the whole situation with one. Because now that you know that, you're
Whoa,
so
spoilers, Putty. Holy dude.
Hey, let's wrap this up. I gotta go.
Like we're literally hello. This is literally a spoiler talk. Anyway, my point to the whole thing is that it was a perfect way. I feel like if they did 5, it wouldn't keep you invested as much. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have been as excited for the new season.
No,
as
but obviously
the
they would have
cutoff.
to have to tell the story different if they did it 5, because that's how they were originally going to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about not in terms of how long, like how the story ended. I'm just saying in terms of digestibleness. Like after 5 episodes, me personally was like, okay, I'm done. But then I'm like, I need to watch 2 more episodes. I need to watch 3 more hours of this. I'm like, I don't really want to right now, right? Like I want to go to bed. So anyway, before we go, is there anything else you got, voice crack? Anything else you guys want to say? When I first seen how he would kill them, Okay. Anything else? Anything else anybody wants to say? Read my last RLG. Russia was filler. Yeah, we talked about that for a long time, Heartbroken. We already talked about how we all agree that the Russia situation was way too much and it dragged on. We already talked about that enough. We talked about it at the beginning. And the moment when they put her favorite song on, right when she was about to die, yeah, there were so many really good moments, Mimi, like that. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. That's going to wrap this podcast up. Make sure you guys check out everyone's channel. We got the guy who hit 1,000 subs in one day twice here. We got Putty, the man, the myth, the legend, and we got that loser, the other guy. Forget his name, loser guy.
Don't talk about yourself like that, Frodo T. Baggins.
Thanks, dude. I'll try not to. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. We're probably gonna do this again in the future. Maybe after the next 2 episodes, we can meet up again and do this again, boys. But either way, anything you guys want to say before I end it?
Yeah, go check out my channel, Johnny Donuts 777.
Perfect. You want to make any plugs, buddy?
Yeah, make sure you go check out my channel, Johnny Donuts 777.
Sweet. Mac, any plugs?
And make sure to check out my channel, Johnny Donuts 777.
Nice, guys. And make sure to check out my channel, Johnny Donuts 4 7s. It's different.
4 7s.
Oh.
Wow. Next
Either way,
level
guys.
numbers
Next
right
level.
there.
Either way, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.